Today, we're tackling something, well, something tough. We're talking about one of the most painful and complex journeys we can go on in any relationship, rebuilding trust after it's been shattered.
You know, trust is kind of like the air in a relationship, right? It's that invisible glue holding our most important connections together. It's that feeling where you can finally just exhale and be yourself, knowing you're fundamentally safe with someone.
So what happens when that glue just dissolves? When the whole foundation cracks, sending shockwaves through everything? And the biggest question of all, can it actually be fixed? Is repair even possible? Well, that's what we're going to dive into.
Okay, so before we can even talk about how to rebuild trust, we've got to get on the same page. What even is it? Because it's way more than just someone keeping their word. It goes a lot deeper than that. Yeah, this right here gets to the absolute core of it. Trust isn't some logical calculation or a checkbox exercise. It's a feeling, right? It's that deep sense of emotional security that lets you drop all the masks and just be authentically you. Because you just know you're going to be handled with care.
And it's super helpful to think about it in two different ways. First, you've got your head trust. That's cognitive trust. It's all about reliability. I trust you'll show up on time. I trust you'll do what you said you do. But then there's the heart trust, the emotional stuff. This is, I trust you've got my back. I trust you genuinely care about me. And for any relationship to really thrive, you absolutely need both.
So what happens when one or both of those gets completely shattered? Well, the fallout is immense. And it's not just an emotional wound. It's a physical thing. It hits you on a neurological level.
And this is so important to understand. If you've ever been betrayed and felt physically sick, like you've been gut punched, you were not making it up. Your brain literally perceives that breach of trust as a genuine threat to your survival, just like a physical attack.
Your body just goes into total crisis mode. Cortisol, the stress hormone, floods your system. Your amygdala, the brain's little alarm bell, just starts screaming. And the part of your brain that handles logic and calm, yeah, that gets totally hijacked. Suddenly, the predictable, safe world you relied on is just gone, and you're left feeling completely lost and disoriented. So, the big question is, can you actually come back from that? Well, the research says yes, it's possible. But, and this is a big but, it's not going to happen by accident. It takes a real, structured process. And lucky for us, there's a pretty solid 5-step framework that can act as a kind of roadmap.
All right, step 1. And this is the absolute 100% non-negotiable starting line. The person who broke the trust has to own it. No buts, no excuses, no trying to explain it away. Just a clean, clear admission of what they did. Without that, the whole thing is a non-starter. Step 2 is, this one's tough. And it's also for the person who messed up. You have to create space for all the ugly feelings to come out. The anger, the sadness, the hurt, all of it. And your job is to just sit there and take it without getting defensive. It's about proving that their feelings matter more than your ego. That is how you validate their pain.
Okay, step 3. Look, saying I'm sorry is important, but words can feel cheap, right? This step is all about action. Rebuilding accountability through new behaviors. And we're not talking about grand gestures here. It's the small, consistent, reliable things you do day in and day out. It's about showing, not just telling, that you're changing.
And that brings us to step 4, patience. A lot of it. Because rebuilding trust is not a quick fix, and it's definitely not a straight line. There are going to be good days, and there are going to be really, really bad days. Triggers will happen. Both people have to accept that this unsettledness is just a normal part of the process.
And finally, step 5. This is kind of the rinse and repeat step, but with a critical exit ramp. You keep cycling through these steps, building trust one tiny brick at a time. But, and this is key, it can't go on forever. You have to recognize when it's just not working. Sometimes the healthiest choice is to let go and move on.
So you can see it's like building a bridge, right? It takes 2 people to build it. But here's the thing, they're not doing the same job. Let's break down what the work looks like from each side.
It really is 2 completely different jobs. If you were the one who got hurt, your focus has to turn inward. It's all about self-compassion, figuring out what you need to feel safe again, and learning how to ask for it. But if you're the one who caused the hurt, your work is all outward. It's about transparency, accountability, and earning back that trust through your actions, day after day. Let's zoom in on that. If you were hurt, your #1 job right now is you. Seriously, it's not about them anymore. It's about your own healing. You have to be kind to yourself for even attempting this. Figure out your boundaries, what's okay and what's not okay, and make your own well-being your absolute top priority. Full stop.
And on the flip side, if you're the one who caused the harm, your job is to do some really deep, honest self-reflection. It's not just about apologizing. You have to dig in and understand why you did what you did. It means taking total responsibility, really listening to their pain, and being brutally honest about whether you're actually willing and able to change.
So after all this pain, all this work, can you get back to the way things were? Well, here's a thought. Maybe you shouldn't even try.
This is where it gets really fascinating. Some research actually suggests that when you rebuild trust the right way, thoughtfully, authentically, the relationship can end up being stronger than it was before. Think about it. The trust isn't just assumed anymore. It's been through the fire, it's been tested, and it held.
And that totally changes the goal, doesn't it? You're not trying to glue a broken vase back together and pretend the cracks don't exist. Instead, you're taking those broken pieces and creating something new, like a mosaic. It's different, for sure, and it acknowledges the break, but it can also be more intricate and resilient because of it. Which leaves us with one last big thought to chew on. Maybe healing isn't about trying to get back to the past or trying to forget what happened. Perhaps the real work, the most profound act, is in the conscious, difficult, and ultimately beautiful choice to build something entirely new together. Something more honest and more intentional, right from the ground up.